Awesome God. Amazing God.
Yes. Well, we are so excited. Again, we're excited about all of our guests.
Yes.
But we're excited about Parice. Is that correct?
Apostle Parice.
Okay. Thank you. And welcome to Atlanta Live.
Glad to be here.
Okay.
I'm glad you're happy.
Thanks. So you have quite a testimony to share. So let's just hop right on into it.
Oh, wow. I have quite a bit of testimonies.
Okay.
But my main testimony is I'm a stroke survivor. Okay. I'm a certified stroke survivor. I've had 10 strokes now. 10 strokes. And the last one, I believe it was last August, it was the one almost took me out. It was with the walker, couldn't take care of myself, couldn't bathe, couldn't use the bathroom, couldn't think right. I couldn't do anything. But God gave me vision. That's why I say, man without vision shall perish. Mm-hmm. You need your vision. Your vision can also be your heartbeat. Yes. It can be your legs. It can be your arms. It can be your fingers, your eyes. And God kept blessing me through all of my strokes, in and out. And I always tell people, there is absolutely no excuse not to become more than that conqueror. Mm-hmm. If I can, having all these strokes, all these brain interruptions, going down and still being able to look up and stand up, as long as you have Jesus on your side. He said, a man without vision gonna perish. So if you throw your vision away because you didn't make it one time, or the second time, or the third time, then you throw your life away.
Sure.
And that's our next breath of hope, and that's what increases our faith.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, you've had the strokes. Tell us over what time span?
It was May 2007. I had my first stroke. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay. And my first stroke happened in Charlotte. I tried to relocate here in 2008, and I did. And that year alone, I had 7 strokes. And then in 2011, in June, I had another stroke while I was here. This land has literally stroked me out. But by me being a faith walker and know the bloodstain of Jesus, I just decided to put on some boxing gloves and decided to let him know the God that I serve, to get to know the armies of the living God that lives in me. I'm pretty much like the female David. Okay. I will not let no giant beat me up.
All right.
Do they know why you keep having these strokes?
No, they don't know. They don't know. They don't have a clue. My health is fine. I'm overweight, of course. I was a smoker up until September of 2000, and it was September 2000, I think 6. So 6 months later, that's when my stroke started. Okay, I had quit smoking.
Oh wow!
September 2006. I did put on quite a bit of weight, but no high blood pressure. No, anything that causes
control or aggravate the condition.
Yeah. So none of that. But I just say that the enemy didn't want me to make it because of the charge that was on my life and because of the giftings that God had put inside me for others.
Now, I read that you ran from your calling. When did you first realize that you...
I knew.
You knew.
You didn't want her to read that part? I used to go to the clubs and I used to drink. When I used to live the other side of the lifestyle. When I was young, I knew I had a calling because when I was in nightclubs, I had a lot of married men trying to talk to you. I would begin to minister to them at a young age. And I ran from my calling. My husband's Bishop L.D. Parker of the House of Transformation. And he kept telling me, honey, you just need to go forth. And I said, no, God called you. He didn't call me. I knew God called me, but I wasn't ready.
Right.
But God made me ready. I just didn't want to be a jack-leg preacher. I didn't want to be another one that caused his glory to be shortened. I prayed diligently. Actually, I think it was May of 2000, I was supposed to do my initial sermon. We had Fountain of Life Christian Ministries in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I prayed for snow. I did not want to preach.
Well, at least you knew.
But you know what? It snowed. That showed me how much the prayer power that was in me. I didn't realize until a few years later. I said, wow, I prayed for snow in the spring.
And it snowed.
And it snowed.
And so you didn't have to
council all over Charlotte, North Carolina. It snowed in May. 2000. I did not want to go preach. A lot of people run into their calling and thinking that it's going to be good. No. That's when you know all the enemies. He sent out all of his high, low places, big places to come after you. And everybody think it's going to be hunky-dory. No, it is not. It proves your faith.
It tests your faith.
The word have to test you.
Yeah.
Because if the word can't brand you, you're not worthy of that calling.
That's right. Awesome.
Now tell us about when you first got saved.
In my living room.
Okay.
In my living room. And that was again in 2000. No, that was 1999. In my living room. Off of Proverbs 14:27, the fear of the Lord is a fountain of life, to depart from the snares of death. And I asked the Lord, I said, Lord, you mean to tell me you're going to give me a fountain of life if I depart from the things that kill me, that destroy me, that can destroy me? He said, I give you a fountain of wealth. I give you a fountain of happiness. I give you a fountain of goodness. I give you a fountain of anything you want. A fountain is continuously flowing. And I asked God for that. But he gave me a fountain of life. I didn't know that fountain was going to be all that came thereafter. I asked God for a fountain of life, and he did that. And he saved my life in my living room because I took that word to heart. And then he took my heart.
Well, not only that, he's continuing to give you the fountain of life. That's why every time you have a stroke, that stroke has not taken you out, so to speak, because his promise is true. He's not like man that he would lie, but that his promises are true. The word is true.
Wow.
No, he's not.
And you mentioned something about building without nothing. Let's talk about that.
Wow. I left Charlotte, North Carolina when I came here the first time. My husband and I, we made about 5 trips back and forth, gathering all our stuff. But everybody said, I'm to see the Abraham. To see the Abraham, what did they do? They left their kindred. They left everything that they have. They took a duffel bag. They started over. God told me to do that the first time, and I was disobedient. When I came in 2000.
To move to Atlanta.
So then this time he told me, I said, you know what, I said, honey, we're not going to take any chances. Get rid of everything. And we did. We left Charlotte, North Carolina. He said, don't take no books, don't do this, don't do that. I'm going to show you what I can do. I had to give up my salons. I had to do everything. It's all everything that I did have. And I had to step out on faith. I left Charlotte with $7 and a quarter tank of gas. That's what I left Charlotte with. By the time I seen the state of Georgia sign, I didn't know where I was going to stay, how I was going to make it, what we was going to do, how God was going to revive, because I had to start with absolutely nothing. But to this day, God has blessed my life tremendously, simply because I stepped out on his voice. He said, my sheep will know my voice. They're going to hear me. They're going to know my voice.
They will not follow.
And when I followed his voice, my fountain of life was all in every turn, every direction. GPS my faith to my fountain of life.
It took a lot of faith.
A lot of faith. Because I thought I was going crazy when I seen the sign of Georgia and my babies in the back. And I said, what are we going to live? What are we going to do? But God has blessed our life. What we have now, people that lived 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, they haven't even accumulated just in a couple of years. That's what God did.
Praise the Lord.
That's what God did.
Yeah, it's truly a blessing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So how long have you been writing?
I've been writing since 2005. I've been writing since 2005. Since 2000. 2000 is a year abundance for me. It started in 2000, and I'm just recollecting all of that. I started with Aggravated Assault on Your Mind. That was my first book because I was angry, I was upset. God gave me, and when you were speaking earlier, I believe it was Karen Whiting when y'all was speaking with her about therapeutic release. That's what writing is. He said, let us make man out of our image. He's nothing and a finisher. We're out of his image. We need to be creators. We have something inside of us that we can create, that we do serve God. And not only just create. In Genesis, I believe it's 9:7, it says, be fruitful, multiply, bring forth abundance in the earth. And so many forget to be fruitful. So many forget to multiply. There's only 3 steps. Be fruitful first, then multiply second, then you can bring forth the abundance. My writing, I thought it was just for me, just to write. And God was giving me so many books. I have plenty of books. God was giving me so many writings I didn't understand. But he was building a book ministry so that it can be the housing of the real ministry. And I didn't understand that, which is also a fountain of life.
All right.
Now, how many books have you written? Because I have here Word Wonders, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. A Precious Gift from God. Talent is Too Good to Waste.
Yes, it is.
Living Life in a Messed Up Situation. And you have a couple over there that you just finished.
The one that she just spoke about, aggravated assault on your mind, and then living life in a messed up situation.
So it's 2. You have a part 1 and a part 2 to that.
That's 1. Living life 1, and that's 2.
Let's talk a little bit about living life in a messed up situation.
Living life in a messed up situation is dealing with miraculous healing. So many people, they need to be inspired and encouraged in the sickest time when the doctor give up on you, just like my strokes, when you don't have an answer, when you can't find your way. There's no disability for you. There's no medicine for you. You can only pray in faith. Pray in faith. And sometimes your faith get up and walk out on you. I'm going to be honest. Sometimes you don't even want to pray another prayer. You done heard every prayer. You done prayed everything. All you're doing is facing nothing but living life in a messed up situation. Everywhere you turn to the left, it's messed up. You turn to your right, it's messed up. You look behind you, you're running from mess back there. In front, all you see is mess. What do you do? What do you do when you can only expect a supernatural deliverance and a supernatural healing? You just need a supernatural miracle. So, Living Life in a Messed Up Situation, Volume 2, it speaks of anything but everything, including the supernatural. So that's what Living Life in a Messed Up Situation is.
Okay. And Word Wonders.
That's a daily devotion book that was, it was actually given to me because of a request from one of my neighbors. Ashley in Georgia, Snellville area. She said, I love your books. She said, and I'm really not a reader. She said, but I love your books. She said, can you write a daily devotional? And I had just had a stroke. And she was coming to pray for me. And then I began to pray for all of my neighbors. And it was one thing after another. They took care of my kids, and I took care of them in prayer to my Heavenly Father. So it's one thing led to another. So that's a daily devotional book for 31 days, abounding to greater faith.
Awesome.
And A Precious Gift from God. Talent is Too Good to Waste.
A precious gift from God. I tell people, if you lost your job today, if you lost your mind today, what would you do? So many, they want to depend on the government. I'll sign up for unemployment.
A different,
Guess what? If the funds are not there, how can you provide for your family? I could take my book if I need to and go to a barbershop, beauty salon, door to door, on the street. You need to be able to supply something for your family. You need to be able to leave something for a legacy for your family. We are legends. We're supposed to be eternal life. When I'm dead and gone, my book can live. It can live in New Zealand while I'm living right here. It can live in Zimbabwe while I'm living right here. While I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, guess what? Someone can be reading my book in Alaska. So we need to be able to commute ourselves in that way. To hedges and highways. Precious gift from God. We all have a talent. We're so gifted in one area that will cause multiplication for us to be more abundant in other areas that's only going to help everyone else. I like to use Sam Walton. I mean, I love his vision. I love his vision from Walmart. What if he would have never thought that he would make it? What if, and during 2007, 2008, when our economy was so bad, guess what? His vision alone helped sustain
people who had lost
that
jobs,
was unemployed, that was homeless. It helped sustain the United States. He employed over 680,000 people. Why? Because he had a vision that the first store didn't make it. He shut down. He started up again.
He didn't quit.
And I love the stores. I love his vision. And look at every employee that's able to take home a check, have benefits, simply because of this one man's vision. You don't never know the size and the capacity of the visions that are in you. It started with one vision, and then they multiply to visions. If you do one right and you obey his voice and follow the correction and his strategic plan of one vision, he will multiply you. Then he will cause you to bring forth an abundance. And it's not for you, it's for everyone around you.
Yes, that's absolutely right. Well, and I think we mentioned it before about providing an inheritance for our children. It's the word of God.
Yes.
It doesn't return back to him void.
It doesn't.
My goodness, this time has gone by so fast. We have less than a minute. Tell us, give us your website.
www.pariceparker.biz. www.pariceparker.biz. And I also teach how to write a book seminars.
Okay.
And I publish authors that do not and don't have the access. That's part of my ministry.
That's part of what God has called you to do.
Yes. Yes.
My goodness.
That's awesome. Awesome.
I am just so amazed that you've written. How many books have you written?
I've written over, it's about 15.
15
And
books.
we have the Breaking the Back of Poverty getting ready to come out.
Okay.
And I'm waiting for the proof of From Eating Crumbs to Transforming Wealth.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for being on Atlanta Live. You had a powerful testimony of faith. And also, if you're going through different things right now,